Audi A3 RS3 Sportback 2015 car review. If you simply must have the fastest compact 5-door available, then the latest Audi RS3 Sportback is your new hot hatch hero. Thing is, if you're spending the thick end of £40,000, or closer to £50,000 with the options Audi believes many customers will splash out on, you'll want your outgoing missile to do more than simply go well in a straight line. It is to entertain too. While the latest RS3 has become the latest undisputed speed king of fast 5-door hatchbacks, there's a wealth of talented alternatives that can go almost as quickly and regale their drivers with other abilities too. Not only that, but BMW's M135i and Mercedes-Benz's A45 AMG are cheaper than the RS3. And so is its chief rival from within the parent company's empire, Volkswagen's Golf. This is one expensive hatchback. Performance. Topping the bill is the most powerful compact hatchback in series production. Audi RS3 Sportback performance is strong enough to embarrass many a purposely designed sports car at twice the price. Exhilarating performance. Nestled under the RS3 Sportback's bonnet is a hat-tip to the original Quattro's power plant. It's a turbocharged 5-cylinder engine, 2.5 litres in capacity, producing a colossal 362 bhp. That power grants an electronically governed top speed of 155 miles per hour for the RS3, which can be raised to 174 miles per hour for an additional fee. What's more likely to worry drivers of coupes with high-performance provenance is the sheer wealth of torque at the driver's disposal. It channels 465 Nm of torque through the RS3's Quattro four-wheel drive system from just 1,625 revolutions per minute all the way through to 5,500 revolutions per minute. This guarantees enormous accelerative potential regardless of whether the Audi is at a standstill or already moving. Rocketing from 0 to miles per hour takes just 4.3 seconds, a 0.3 second improvement over the previous RS3. Animalistic growl, controlling the flow from the ovular tailpipes of butterfly valves which add a deep, purposeful resonance. This complements the muscular performance, and its tone can be varied via the drive select system. If the standard exhaust note isn't deep and throaty enough for you, a more sonorous RS Sports exhaust upgrade can be specified. In spite of all that grunt at your right foot's command, Audi has had to ensure the latest RS3 Sportback is EU6 emissions regulations compliant. A claimed average fuel consumption of 34.8 miles per gallon sub 28 mpg will be more normal in the real world, and CO2 emissions of 189 gkm don't sound especially impressive for a member of the A3 family. They're not extraordinary for a high-performance hatchback, either. Conveying the engine's urgency to all four wheels is a 7-speed dual-clutch Stronic transmission. This offers fully automatic driving as well as manual control via the lever and steering wheel paddles whenever you demand it. But it's not a straight lift of the gearbox which serves the S3 so well. For the RS3 the components have been redesigned to be lighter, delivering faster changes and providing more distinct response differences when alternative modes are chosen in the drive select system. Handling, with such a glut of power on tap, the promise of four-wheel drive grip which can direct all the torque to the rear wheels, and a lightened chassis, much is promised from the RS3's handling. But ultimately it doesn't deliver the satisfaction it should. Particularly with the optional sports exhaust fitted, you'd be forgiven for imagining the RS3 was a brutal handful, a hatchback that would have you sawing at the wheel as you attempted to rein in all that horsepower. It sounds savage, yet it isn't. You hear a part-wolf part-shot while a crossbreed snarling behind the garden gate, but when it bolts out it does so with all the ferocity of a friendly Labrador. Rapid across country, not that the RS3 Sportback is entirely without talent, far from it in fact. Point to point, few cars in any price bracket will be able to keep up with it across winding broads. Grip from the Holdex four-wheel drive Quattro system is for the most part untroubled, but press on with too much verve and the front end will push wide into understeer. This occurs even when the 19-inch alloys are wearing wider tires up front. There's too much weight up front for it not to particularly noticeable under heavier braking, although the complex clutch mechanism has been relocated to the rear axle to give the Audi a fighting chance. Switching the drive select from comfort to dynamic mode makes it more playful, but not captivatingly so. All's not lost though, with additional power being diverted to the rear wheels to help steer you around the bend. This keeps you truer to your intended cornering line. Up to 100% can go rearwards, and while there was no sign of this degree of transfer happening on test, you could feel the RS3 wriggling controllably mid-corner. This keeps the back end in the front wheel's path. Inert steering, it's more of a SEAT pants feel than one that articulates the road conditions through the steering wheel, though. Audi has improved the feel felt at the helm over the years, but it can't seem to manage the same level of feel you'd experience in a BMW M135i. Even flitting between the different driving modes doesn't dial in additional involvement. Apply it gently and the RS3 Sportback can be a docile beast. It's one that you don't need to be an expert driver to pilot smoothly, as you tease in the power and caress the brakes. The standard ventilated discs are necessarily large at 370mm across, clamped with 8-piston calipers to offer impressive stopping power. Beyond that there are optional ceramic brakes for even more prodigious decelerative action. These are an expensive option, though, so think wisely about how hard you're likely to drive the RS3 before ticking that extra cost box. There's an obligatory firmness to the ride quality of the standard, lowered by 25mm, sports suspension, but in the most part it doesn't prove troublingly uncomfortable. Only deeper, sharper ruts cause passenger consternation. Audi's adaptive suspension, the damper firmness adjusted via the drive select function, will be available as a ghost option later in 2015. This should display a greater degree of compliance in most road conditions, but so far we've only sampled it on the smooth asphalt of the Vallelunga racetrack in Italy. While it may not have the handling brio to complement the performance available, the RS3 is an impressively engineered, adjustable and predictable hot hatch. It's just one devoid of much character. Equipment. From launch there was a single standard specification for the RS3 Sportback. Although reasonably well equipped, a wide range of expensive options is also available to tempt new buyers. Standard Audi RS3 Sportback equipment for a compact, 5-seater, 5-door hatchback that costs just shy of £40,000 when sales began in summer 2015. The RS3 Sportback's standard equipment roster is more meager in its proportions than you'd hope. Survey the RS3's exterior and you'll appreciate the 19-inch rotor alloy wheels, RS body kit, 25mm lower sports suspension, full LED lights front and rear and aluminium look housings for the door mirrors. It looks purposeful without being remotely in-your-face. Climb inside and it's a similar story as you're surrounded by an array of high-quality dashboard plastics, all impeccably put together. The standard sports seats are heated and trimmed in Napa leather, plus there's a flat-bottomed multifunction steering wheel, also leather-wrapped, plus a smattering of differing trim and RS logos dotted about the cabin. Additionally there's dual zone climate control, a 5.8-inch infotainment display screen which can be hidden away at the push of a button, DAB radio, Bluetooth connectivity, voice activation for audio and telephone functions and a rotary controller, complete with MMI touch. Optional Audi RS3 Sportback accessories. In common with many contemporary cars, the RS3 comes in one standard, non-metallic color, here it's Nardo Grey. If you want one of the 6 metallic shades, the crystal finish or virtually any other color you can think of from Audi's customized range, you'll pay extra for paint. You can further personalize your RS3's exterior with 2 styling packages, one matte aluminium, the other high-gloss black. In each case the grille surround, front bumper blade and window surround are colored in the specified shade, while a large Quattro logo appears in the lower portion of the front grille too. There's a similarly broad range of options for the interior, where the standard sports seats can be replaced by RS Super Sports seats with quilted leather and made to be electrically adjustable, or lightweight, racing-style RS bucket seats. Adding a dash of vibrancy to the interior is the RS3 design package, with crescendo red elements added to the seat belt edges, various areas of contrast stitching and even in the inner bezels of the event. For the exterior, your 19-inch alloy wheels can have 3 additional color finishes at extra cost, while the brakes snuggled in behind them can be upgraded to ceramic items with even greater stopping power. If you're feeling even more flush, you can have your brake calipers painted red and fit a carbon fiber applique for the top of the engine. If you're seeking a more compliant driving experience, then the adaptive Audi magnetic ride could be worth your investment, although test the RS3 with and without the system before taking the plunge. Infotainment upgrades include sat-nav and 2 choices of sound system upgrades, including a Bang & Olufsen version with 14 speakers. Audi's also bundled together various options to offer significantly better value for money when combining extras. Choose the comfort and sound package, and that B&O sound system is joined by cruise control and an additional interior lighting system. The technology package upgrades the infotainment screen to 7 inches and includes a 3D sat-nav function, while you can add Audi Connect 2, which includes Google Earth and Street View images on the display. Finally, the dynamic package combines the magnetic ride system with the RS Sports exhaust for a more expressive growl from the engine. Upgrade to the dynamic package plus and your top speed is up to 174 miles per hour too. Comfort, with its lowered, stiff and sports suspension on standard dampers, Audi RS3 Sportback comfort is slightly compromised compared to the more sedate S3, but not significantly so. Those 19-inch alloy wheels are shod in relatively shallow sidewalled tires, so there's less rubber depth to absorb the road's imperfections. The RS3's saving grace could be the adaptive magnetic suspension that's optionally available, the firmness of which can be altered using the Drive Select system. So far we've only tested its setup on a smooth surface tracing circuit, but we'll test an appropriate SLI-equipped car on UK roads later in 2015. Theoretically, it should be a superior arrangement. Other aspects of the RS3 relate to the A3 Sportback it's based on, meaning you've a generously sized 5-door hatchback, a good level of standard equipment, impeccable build quality and luxurious materials surrounding you in the cabin. Choose the optional front RS Super Sports seats for the finest of RS3 luxury and comfort. They're impressively supportive and luxuriously plush too, with their cushioned Napa leather facings. Admittedly, the stitched diamond quilting at the seat tops aren't to everyone's tastes. While the back seat can accommodate 3 adults, 2 will be more comfortable, with decent room for a 6-foot passenger to sit behind a driver of similar stature. Dual zone climate control helps keep temperatures maintained to the desired setting, the fans being relatively subdued even when on full blast. Optional mood lighting for the interior further promotes a sense of calm at night, as well as reinforcing the RS3's premium nature. Practicality. Think upon it as a family-friendly supercar, and Audi RS3 Sportback practicality would be rated as excellent. Truth is, it's slightly compromised as a family car, the main culprit being the Quattro 4-wheel drive system. Standard front-wheel drive A3 Sportbacks enjoy 380 litres of boot space, but 100 litres have been lopped off the total for the RS3 to accommodate the drive system to the rear wheels and the relocated clutch assembly. Not only does it get trumped by the Mercedes A45 AMG 341 litres and BMW M135i 360, the old RS3 also outranked it at 302 litres. The split-folding rear seats can be flattened to offer 1,120 litres of carrying capacity. However, such is the deliciousness of the Audi's interior that you're unlikely to want to fill it to the roof lining with detritus from your garage or garden to take to the tip. Features like a reversible boot mat and a load-through panel for longer items between the outer rear seats are useful but are optional extras, even at this price. Elsewhere there's a reasonable amount of oddment space, in spite of the minimalist look interior discouraging from spoiling its elegance with unsightly clutter. Also a safety consideration, but we've been impressed with the light distribution and overall illuminative qualities of the LED headlights fitted as standard to the RS3 Sportback. They're complemented by LED units at the rear too, ensuring that you can be seen from further afield at night. Safety, although not specifically crash-tested by the expert at EuroNCAP, like other members of the A3 family, Audi RS3 Sportback safety is rated highly at 5 stars. We've not awarded it the full 5 stars in the rating because many of the safety features are optional, rather than standard. Most obviously the RS3 benefits from the extra surety of grip afforded by the firm's Quattro 4-wheel drive system and uprated brakes, although these can be optionally superseded by even more powerful ceramic versions at a not inconsiderable cost. There are airbags in front at the side of the front passengers, with curtain airbags offering head protection and a knee bag for the driver, plus tire pressure monitors. Outside full LED lights front and rear ensure you're clearly visible to other road users and have super nighttime illumination. Among the raft of optional safety equipment is hill hold assist, a reversing camera, cruise control with the possibility to upgrade this to an adaptive system monitoring the speed of vehicles ahead of you, rear side airbags, lane keeping assistance, a blind spot monitor and automatic main beam function. Reliability. Given how problem-free the regular A3 and sporty RS3 models are, the likelihood is that Audi RS3 reliability should be impressive too. There's a caveat though, although it's self-evidently a compact family hatchback, underneath that predominantly unassuming exterior is a high-performance sports car and consequently it needs to be cared for. Ensuring it's serviced on time and maintaining it in excellent order will maximize its chances of a trouble-free life. Elsewhere, the standard A3 parts, such as the switchgear and other interior components, stand the test of time very well, so there's no reason the flagship of the range will be any different. Build quality is first-rate and the materials used are of the highest order. Other manufacturers, premium and otherwise, have lots still to learn about car interior construction.